Would you like to see what I made with the Simple Stories Fur Baby mini album? That's what I'm going to show you in today's video. Hi everyone, this is Debbie from Project 39 Mini Albums, and today I'm going to show you one mini album that I made with a 6x8 paper pad called Fur Baby. We are doing a year-long collab on using things in your stash. This month it's a free choice, so I decided to use some 6x8 paper pads that I had in my stash. So unfortunately I succumbed to a haul video, and Simple Stories had a Black Friday special, and I got some of the paper pads just because I don't have very many smaller size paper pads, and I thought it would be a fun challenge to use that throughout the year. So not only did I pick up one of the Black Friday specials, but I picked up two. And it just was an assortment of 6x8 paper pads, and I was really happy with the ones that I got. And I like this Fur Baby. The thing about this one is it could be dog or cat, and I guess I could have done just a pets theme album. But what I decided to do is, since I had two of the pads that were the same, is I made one for cat, and then later on in the week I'll show you one that I'm making for dog. But let me show you the cat mini album. Throughout this month I have been using up scraps, and I previously did a tutorial using honeybee paper scraps. So that is on my channel. Go ahead and look. So I used that tutorial to make this mini album. Now it is, of course I didn't grab my ruler, but I'll grab it now so I can measure it for you. 5.5 by 7.5. And the reason I have that size is because I did some what was the size? 6.5 by 6.5 mini albums. So I had 5.5 left over from the 12 by 12 chipboard. So I cut this down to 5.5 by 7.5, and I used up some of my chipboard scraps as well. I love this blue paper, and I happen to have in my stash some blue cardstock, so I decided to use that as the base color in the mini album. I mean, this is cute because it's got the flowers, and then in the flowers, I don't know if you can see, but there's the fish skeleton. I don't know, I just thought that it's pretty and it's fun. So I took one of the cut aparts and used that as a focal point on the cover. I also had some scraps from Simple Stories that I used here and here. Not scraps, they were ephemera that I had from a totally different collection. Couldn't tell you what the collection was, but I had those scraps and I decided to use them. Obviously you can see I have this piece of paper and then this one. Then I put it on white cardstock, on orange cardstock, and then on the blue. And so let me take you inside. So I did follow that tutorial that I had made with the honeybee to some extent. In that honeybee album tutorial, I did have a piece of ephemera. I did have a larger piece to put a photo mat, but to be honest, I really didn't want to cover up this paper. So I just used that as a tuck spot and have just a couple of pieces that you could add some photos to and journal on. And if you wanted to, you could just stick a photo under there, or you could put it on here. But like I said, I really didn't want to cover that paper. It just was adorable. That bits and pieces that I had did have this journaling card, and I took a cat and put it here so you could still journal on there, and I thought the cat was adorable. This actually didn't come from this collection. I had it in my stash and the colors were right, so I just put that in there, glued it down on three sides to make a tuck spot for another 3x4 cut apart. Now this page is a top loading page, so we've got this, which is 4 inches by 6 3/4. So you could put a 4x6 photo, maybe cut down a little bit, or put two smaller photos on here, or just use that to journal on. I did just use plain white cardstock for those because I didn't have any more cat paper when all said and done. So there is page 1. Here is page 2. a piece of the ephemera, a couple of the little cut-aparts that came from that collection. I just use that as a tuck spot, but you don't have to. You could just add your photo right to that page. And I did glue that on a couple of sides and have this journaling card right there. I just thought that was perfect. Again, that was part of the ephemera I had, and I thought Nice Kitty was really cute. Here is a 3x4 cut apart. And the thing about this size album is there was room for 4 1/4 by 6 1/4 folders. So this is a great spot to put your photos. So you could put your 4x6 photos here. You could put 4 of them on each folder. And there's 4 or 5 folders in this book, I forget. So there is that. And again, it's top loading. So there is another photo mat. So the next side also has a pocket. And the pocket also has another folder. Some of these I did not on this book, but you could cover this with paper. But this is, again, 4 1/4 by 6 1/4. And this is 4x6. So I didn't really want to cover it all because if you put 4x6 photos on it, you would cover it, and you didn't need to. Oops, that was supposed to go in there, but anyhow. And there is just a photo mat. I had a die that was a scalloped rectangle, so I just put that on there. And there is a cut apart, and you could put your photo on the back or take a white Sharpie or gel pen and write on there. So there is that, and it says cats leave paw prints on your heart. This one says the cat's in charge, we just live here, and that is just a scalloped die rectangle that I had in my stash so you could put your photo on there. And here is the hidden photo mat. Not that hidden. You could see it. Here's another scalloped rectangle with just white cardstock, and there is a journaling card. So another way that I use what's in my stash is I go through it and take some of the big scraps every once in a while when I'm not really in a crafty mood, but feel like being productive. And I just take my scraps and do these larger scallop dies or stitched rectangles. That's a stitched rectangle. So that's why I'll have some plain ones from my stash that I can just grab when I'm putting together an album like this. Now you could put just a 4x6 photo on this page, or you could put a 4 1/4 by 6 1/4 photo mat. I just decided to spice it up and put a couple of different size things in here. So yes, if you had a 4x6 photo, you would have to cut it down to have it fit. The white part of this is 3 1/2 by 4 3/4. So you could put a 3x4 photo there if you wanted to. So anyhow, different things I do. Now on this page, so this was just a piece of the ephemera. I just glued it down on the bottom and made it another tuck spot. There was a page of these little journaling cards or cut aparts that I put there. And then there was also a page of tags, and I just loved it saying meow. The colors were right. It was pretty. So here is another one of the folders to add your photos to. There is the hidden photo mat. And then another pocket here. You had me at meow. And another folder to add your pictures to. And there is another one of those cute journaling cards. Oh, that's cute. So there is that. And then the final page, again, I just had a scalloped rectangle. This is actually a stitched rectangle that fit on there. That is a journaling card, and so is that. I just left it open. Of course, you can move these around. This doesn't have to go there. You could put that in the pocket if you wanted to. But I left it there. And there is the back. I did cut down, these are the scraps I had left. So once you cut this down, the 6x8 to fit in this book, you have like inch long or 1.125 strips, and I just put them on some copy paper that I had put double-sided adhesive on, and just made an interesting looking spine piece. So that is it. That is You're the Cat's Meow using the 6x8 paper pad called Fur Baby. Now I did not completely smash this, but I came pretty close because of the cat paper, because I used that. But I will be showing you in a future video one I did using the same collection but with a dog theme. So if you're not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe so you can see when that's coming out. But I wanted to show you that method of smashing my stash using a tutorial I already have on my channel. That's what I wanted to show you today. Thank you so much for watching, and have a fabulous day.